It's Thursday, the 18th of the 9th, 2025. The time is 19 minutes past 8, and it means only one thing, that there are very many F1-centric thread at which we need to pull. Over the next 30 minutes or less, we'll talk about McLaren, F1 snowflakery et al. We'll talk about a new entrant into the FIA presidential race, and I am here for it. We'll talk about Lewis Hamilton saying that he's not interested in cars anymore, only interested in art, that he sold off all his collection, that he can't win. And so too, we'll talk about Maximin Verstappen ahead of this race weekend, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. It will get techier than techie things. Leroy, Issa, Kartik, John, as per usual. Let me address this McLaren thing in the first instance, because I listened to the press conferences, the interviews of OJP and Landowner, and I don't know what we're doing at this stage. This is just nonsense, chat. How very dare McLaren turn this into a procession, a bloody synchronised swimming of a flipping F1 champion. What are we doing here? That last race was nonsense, and it looks like they're looking to continue. When asked OJP at the drivers' press conference, have they sorted it out? Have they had a conversation and made sure that the parameters, the guardrails within which the papaya coloured team are set to operate and race, whether they're set fair? OJP said, yeah, copy, we're good to go. Can you confirm then what the papaya rules are going into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? I cannot confirm, was OJP's response, firmly, curtly, abruptly. But he said, obviously it's a talking point at the moment. Lots of people are chatting about it, but we've had discussions, clarified a lot of things, and we know how we're going to go racing going forward, which is the most important thing. So what's happened is in the past. What's happened at the Monza Grand Prix, at the Italian Grand Prix, is done and dusted. Listen, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and it reminded me the Italian Grand Prix 2024, the OJP took no prisoners. He left no crumbs. Round the outside, two trailer park girls go round the outside. Chicane number 2. That, ladies and gentlemen, tells you all you need to know about OJP. Currently rests 31 points down the road in the driver's standing from Lando Norris. Do not think for a second that there are any lengths to which OJP will not go to get himself a driver's championship between now and race 24. It's been nicey for now. But OJP, I think, has had enough. Maybe it doesn't pop off this race, but again, I feel like this is a matter of when, not if. The podcast I was listening to was the race courtesy of the one that they call Ed Straw and Mark Hughes. And in there, they said the difference between Oscar and Lando is that ultimately Oscar doesn't care about all this team ethos stuff. If he did, there's no way that he'd be able to put one round the outside of Lando Norris at the Italian Grand Prix in 2024. Oh, and by the way, there's been another welcome entrant to the FI presidential race. Have you heard? A female, a woman. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen of the F1 jury. Laura Villas. And again, racing driver, techier than techie things. Listen, 28 years old. She's declared her intent to run for the FIA president role. I mean, fair... Mohammed Ben Salem, do you know what I mean? I would love it. I would love nothing more if this lady, Laura Villas, could beat him. She's set to become the first female candidate if her application is formalised. So no formal application just yet then. Just an intent declaration on the social medias. She pledges transparency, sustainability and stronger roles for women and youth in motorsport are her mandate. I do not hate this. Of course she won't win. I don't know if Team Mayer will win, but nevertheless, do you know what I mean? This is a signal of intent, and I'm here for it. So John, you're a legend. If you like the stream, then like the stream. Techie than techie things as always. So John, I like the signal of intent. Do you know what I mean? Freshen up the FIA portfolio. Why does it always need to look one way? Incompetence, consistent inconsistency. Are we rappers? I don't like women that think they're more intelligent than men. Let me pose with Prince Andrew and Max Mosley to celebrate the anniversary of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Do you know what I mean? How many more PR faux pas can one man commit? And still going steady as president of the FIA. And I've said it a gazillion times, but I make no apology for repeating this. I will labour this point in perpetuity, ad nauseum. if Mohammed bin Salman had all of his regulatory governance ducks in a row, then nobody would complain. But this dude can't even get transponders ready to go. He can't even use the eye test to tell whether Checo Perez and Lando Norris have full started. That tells you the extent of the incompetence at the hands of the FIA. It is not good enough, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Particularly, listen, this season you won't notice it, right, because McLaren have gone clear. But imagine another 2021, another closed championship where every second and every millimetre counts, where you need an arbiter, a referee, an umpire, a racing director and a steward that know their arm from their elbow. What are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go scorched earth this afternoon, but Mohammed bin Salman leaves me with no option. Oh, and by the way, so Lewis Hamilton has come out and said a couple of different things. I have no bandwidth to go scorched earth on Lewis, but I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I'm bereft of emotion as far as the Lewis Hamilton circumstance is concerned. Do I want that dude to win? You bet your bottom dollar I do. But is that going to happen this year? According to Sir Lewis, when answering questions pre-race by dint of Ted Kravitz of Sky Sports F1, Lewis Hamilton said, win. Mate, I'll be lucky to get on the podium. Charles Leclerc's had a few. It'd be brilliant if I could. Again, Tifosi, passion infused. It would be good if I could, but bloody no, the car's not good enough. Ted Kravitz said, well, what on the car? It feels like you got some momentum going forward, like the car's improving. Sir Lewis, Carl Davidson, Hamilton, more mechanical grip, to which Lewis Hamilton said, yeah, there is more mechanical grip now than what I've been used to. Ted Kravitz said, well, that's good, that's positive. Podium incoming then? He was like, I don't know, it's techie. As far as Sir Lewis, he wasn't drawn on the effusive positivity of the one that they called Ted Kravitz. Oh, and by the way, as far as Sir Lewis is concerned, when they asked him, and again, this is a conversation that's been ongoing. When we're talking about the difference between prime time Sir Lewis in say 2020 as versus Lewis Hamilton in 2025. Well, one thing is clear, that the rules and regulations are different. The spec of car is different. Many have said in the community that this spec of car, ground effect cars, don't favour the last of the late braking style of Lewis Hamilton. Ergo, when we move across in 2026 to brand new rules and regs, less emphasis on ground effect, that Lewis Hamilton, prime Lewis Hamilton, will show his face again. To which Lewis Hamilton responded this way: will you be glad when we see the back of these current rule and reg specs, this ground effect car? Lewis Hamilton simply replied, yes. I think he's looking forward to it. I think he needs it. Just like he needed to turn over a new leaf in the Mercedes book and go and drink himself some Fiorano red wine and eat himself some Marinello pasta. I think sometimes you need the rule and reg spec to change. Last of the late breakers. No way is Lewis Hamilton going to be quick in this spec of cars, but I digress. Let me tell you about Max. In fact, before I tell you about Max, should we talk about Isack Hadjar? A lot of speculation ongoing, and it's going to get techie and then techie. Who do you think takes pole? I mean, Charles Leclerc's not been bad around here, but do you ever back against Max Verstappen? Lest you be a fool, an idiot, churlish like your boy Cameron CC over here. For sure, Franz, but Max will be there, no hiding in the team. He'll give that team the last 10% that they need, says Leroy. Go on then, let's talk about Hadjar under the umbrella heading, the aegis that is Red Bull Racing. Here's what you need to know, chap. Isack Hadjar was answering some questions. The rumour in the paddock is that he signed a contract for 2026, but it's techie, these Oracle Red Bull Racing contracts, that he signed a contract for Oracle Red Bull Racing as an umbrella, as a family. Does that mean necessarily that he will take the seat alongside Max Verstappen? Well, that depends. It depends on the contract. Checo Perez, you'll remember, had an exclusive Oracle Red Bull Racing contract, meaning that he couldn't be demoted to a Racing Bulls. What does Isack Hadjar's contract look like? Because the rumour and speculation pre the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is that Isack Hadjar has a contract with Oracle Red Bull Racing family for 2026. Whether that means Racing Bulls or Oracle Red Bull Racing, that's up for speculation. We can argue about. I suspect, if we're going to do the bloody common sense thing, Occam's razor, that means that he will be alongside Maximilian Verstappen as at 2026. Who else? Chat. You think they're going to promote Liam Lawson? I do not think so. His first tour at in the big seat alongside Max didn't go too well, and I'm not sure he's done anything since to prove that he's ready and able to get a promotion again. Who else are they going to promote? Tsunoda-san. Once that 20 million from Honda as far as sponsorship go away? I don't think so. I don't think he'll be a Red Bull Racing driver. He was never a part of the Red Bull Racing family. He was an adopted son by dint of the collaboration with Honda Racing. That was all. Now that they've gone across to Aston Martin, Tsunoda as an Oracle Red Bull Racing driver ceases to exist as an entity. Tsunoda will go away. Arvid Lindblad, current F2 driver, 7th if I recall correctly. He'll get the promotion to Racing Bulls alongside, I think, the one that they call Liam Lawson. Isack Hadjar will get the seat. The rumour is that it's already signed, that he already has a contract, but Ted Kravitz put that to the one that they call Mr. Aura at the moment, the one that they call Isack Hadjar, Le Petit Professeur. And here's what that fella had to say. Roll the clip.
Are there any announcements that are coming that we should know about you?
No.
Do you know where you're driving next year?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay, there's a lot of paddock rumour that the deal is done and that you will be driving alongside Max next year. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I think it's very funny.
Why do you think it's funny?
Because I didn't sign anything, so...
Okay, so it's just people guessing or...
Yeah. So, yeah.
Huh.
Do you need to sign particularly, or do you just get told where you're driving next year?
Good question, Ted Kravitz. You see what Ted's alluding to, what we've just discussed, that if you're an Oracle Red Bull Racing driver and you don't have the Checo Perez exclusive contract, then they can put you wherever they want. So long as Isack has a contract with Oracle Red Bull Racing family, then they can put him wherever. The rumour is that he has a contract for 2026 already by dint of his overperformance season to date, although Isack Hadjar doesn't want to confirm or deny.
I think both. Actually, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll leave that one go. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hi Isack, how are you? Of course, it's been an amazing season for you. The results speak for themselves. So it's normal that there's this kind of rumors in the paddock or social media.
Yeah.
Do you like that you're in the middle of the rumors, or does it bother a little bit?
I couldn't care less.
Oh.
Doesn't affect you in any way, right?
No. You think when I'm in the car, you think I'm thinking about these rumors in the paddock. I have other problems to deal with, so no.
That's it.
Ahead.
All right, chill out, Isack. Mr. Godfather. Is that like Michael Corleone? Is that Isack Hadjar? I can't tell the difference. Gangster settings. Do you think I care? He said. Doesn't want to talk about this contract nonsense, which makes me think that it's already sorted. He was later asked, listen, if you got the call up to the big T, what would you think about that? And he said, listen, I'm a part of the Red Bull Racing family. What else do you think I'm here for? I'm here to win races. I'm here to win Grand Prix. And that will necessitate at some point in a not too distant future having a seat at the big boy table alongside the one that they call Maximilian Verstappen. I think Isack Hadjar is going to get that seat, and I cannot wait to see how he fares against Maximilian Verstappen. I don't think he'll fare well. I think Max is on a different level. Maximilian Verstappen glaze incoming. If past his prologue, Max Verstappen's teammates, notwithstanding the difficulties, not insubstantial, multitudinous foibles of the car, both mechanical and aerodynamic, Max Verstappen's teammates have always struggled right against him. Mention no names: Liam Lawson, Checo Perez, Danny Rick, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, all of whom have since gone on to make waves right. Carlos Sainz fared well, but that time in Toro Rosso, Max was only like 10 years old or whatever. So it's techier than techie things. Is Yuki Tsunoda, is this chap Isack Hadjar the one that, the exception that proves the rule? Can he come along and do something that no other driver in most recent Red Bull Racing history has managed to do? Compete and keep Maximilian Verstappen, 4-time champion, honest. I am not so sure. It's going to get techie that he will get destroyed, says Kartik. Oh, the humanity. A lot of people are saying the same thing, though. They were speculating on the Sky Sports F1 broadcast that if I were in Isack Hadjar's camp, then I'd keep him away. Why would I want to destroy his career so early on? Why? alongside Maximilian Verstappen. Wait another year and then promote him in 2027 when Max Verstappen has gone to Mercedes or elsewhere. And then you can, his clean slate settings, then Isack can build a Red Bull racing team in his own image. Hadjar is the one with a contract for next year, either Red Bull or Red Bull. Yeah, there we go. So now I saw that from Helmut Marko, but it's weird that Hadjar's not confirming it right. Who do you believe, John K? Do you believe Helmut Marko or do you believe Isack Hadjar? I don't know. It's going to get techie and techie things. Oh, and by the way, if we're talking Maximilian Verstappen, he was talking about his chances. It's an interesting automotive pugilistic Rubik's Cube for which we need to solve. The question on everybody's lips is, have Red Bull Racing turned the corner? The RB21 season to date has been understeer. It's snap oversteer. It's been temperamental, difficult to drive. Matt Bishop has told you on a gazillion occasions, you don't judge how quick a car is by what Max is doing. Judge how quick it is by what the second driver is doing. And Tsunoda-san has been nowhere all season, telling us therefore conclusively, definitively, that that car is difficult to drive. What does that mean there as far as Monza? Well, they brought some things to Monza, didn't they? Brand new floor fairings, bespoke rear wing. It was super slippy. They listened to Max, sack off whatever the simulation's saying, invest in Maximilian Verstappen PLC, take some downforce points off the rear wing, and Max Verstappen will be able to nail it. Put some downforce points on the front wing, and then leave Max Verstappen to work his magic. It worked around the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, but that's Monza, the temple of speed. Red Bull, as far as its aerodynamic efficiency, has always lent well to Monza and the temple of speed. However, how we work around Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Have you guys seen Sector 2? Right angle corner central, hairpin settings, as near as makes no difference every single corner. And I would argue that that's the natural habitat of McLaren's MCL39. And those are the corners around which the RB21 has always struggled, unless Max Verstappen can execute for his brilliance, right? Per Marquez, allow the rear end to float around the corner, the apex of it, with a view to get the car turned in V-line settings. Balance, manipulate the car on and around the limits of adhesion. That's what Max Verstappen will need to do, because it will need to be the difference. Max Verstappen spoke to it pre-race and he said a couple different things. In the first instance, he said, I hope that around this track that we won't do the random walk setup thing. Historically, season to date, we've been trying different things, extreme setups, bouncing around, random walk. He says he hopes now they'll be more intentional, more deliberate, now that they've got the brand new floor, brand new flow fairing, slow corners, 90-degree, low minimum speed. See, low minimum speed, medium duration. That's not Red Bull. That's not where this Red Bull comes alive necessarily, or at least it wasn't season to date, particularly before they had their floor fairings and bespoke win over at the Italian Grand Prix. Here's what Max Verstappen had to say, a couple different things. So that Monza was, of course, an incredible result. It gave everyone, quote, in the team a boost. I'm looking forward to seeing how competitive we'll be around here, Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but it's difficult to predict. We made progress, but this circuit is a very different circuit as compared to Monza. Every circuit has different demands. Baku has a lot of slow corners and a lot of 90-degree corners. That's never been our strong point at Red Bull. It's a challenging track with not much grip. Usually the track surface is pretty green, but improves rapidly throughout the race weekend. It's techie, isn't it? I feel like Max Verstappen is managing his fans and Red Bull guys and girls, the fan base globally, and their expectation respectively. And I think that's the right way. Would you back against Max Verstappen? I mean, you would be foolish to at this stage. But does that mean that he needs the quicker car? Well, again, if past his prologue, mention no names, the British Grand Prix, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Corniche, Suzuka, then probably not. Maybe he can get, I don't know, it's going to be techie. He's going to have to go some. He continues, we've been going a bit about the setup, the random walk setup thing. He's not a big fan. He says, historically, season to date, we've been going a bit left and right with the setup. I feel like maybe now we're starting to be a bit more stable with the behaviour of the car, a bit more intentional. He continues, quote, I hope that will help both drivers. It's not easy to jump in the car when it's a bit unpredictable. Techier than techie things. I hope Max Verstappen can go well, because who else is going to hold the McLaren pairing, the papaya coloured team, and their feet to the flames? Maybe the modern day Jean Alesi. I heard a stat that Charles Leclerc is the only one to have put it on pole more than once around here, 4 times back to back to back. Some say that Charles Leclerc is prolific. Some say that he makes mistakes of the unforced variety around here. Some say that 2 things can be true. He's going to get techie around here this weekend. I can't wait. So too, important to note that Hulkenberg, a lot of talk about Maximilian Verstappen and that he was racing in his weekend off. Hulkenberg, effusive in his praise, had this to say, quote, "It's honourable how much Max loves racing. How much time he puts into it. F1, sim racing, GT racing. He's such a passionate racer, fully committed to it, 24/7, lives and breathes racing. I admire it. I had a taste of that in 2015, but now I'm not so sure. Hats off to Max Verstappen." Let me say this if we're praising Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen glaze incoming. I feel like the space has done something weird. There were articles written between this weekend and last about a rising Max Verstappen boat floating all F1 tides. Millions of views on YouTube. Do you think anybody would have watched that Nordschleife DT race round 7? It's techie. Not many. Millions. I think that's unprecedented numbers. Blockbuster figures go, and Max Verstappen tide floats all motorsports boats. If he breathes on your formula, do you know what I mean? You want to turn around and thank your lucky stars, aka the racing gods. It will get techier than techie things this weekend, and I am here for it. Go on, and let me read out. So Albon for pole. Albon's been talking. Have you heard the Williams statistic? 80-something point season to date. That's the same amount of points as Williams has scored over the past 6 seasons or something like that. Hang on. They're going in. They're going in. Carlos Sainz was talking about the fact that the stewards made an unprecedented thing to turn around, to overturn their call and not penalise one Liam Lawson. Indeed, Carlos Sainz was penalised for the Liam Lawson incident. Why? Why did they do that? Well, apparently they didn't even look at the onboard of Liam Lawson, which would have showed you that Liam Lawson had a massive oversteer incident, which meant that he had to wash out and into Carlos Sainz's car. In turn, you will know the rules at this stage. If you lose control of your car at any stage and that causes an incident or coming together on track, then you should get the penalty. Why then did Carlos Sainz get the penalty for that instance? That cheeky coming together, because the FIA numped his. Do you know what I mean? Absolute inconsistent. Always have been, always will be. It makes no sense. And that's why I desperately want MBS to go. Anyone, Tim Mayer, Laura Villas, anybody can be MBS, can be better, do a better job of regulating for the sport that we know and love. F1. RB21 will lose time to the McLarens in the court. 100%. Sector 2, they'll struggle. Sector 3, when you look at it, is just 90-degree corner after 90-degree corner. Of course, they've got the longest straight on the current calendar, but it's going to get techie. Manifest Destiny. Ford is going to kill this ish. Max and Isack lockouts, or you behave yourself, John. You can't even say that with a straight face, that Ford are going to kill it. That's not the rumour. Do you know what I mean? If word on the F1 curb is something you want to be invested in, that's stupid. Science downfall is real. Go on then, friends. I will take anybody's bet. I think Carlos Sainz will be back imminently. He's just taking. He's extend him some grace. Everyone wants to give Lewis all the grace. But when I talk about Carlos Sainz, nobody wants to give that dude some grace as far as his ability to play his way into the crease, get his feet underneath the Williams table. I think people are being too harsh on Carlos Sainz. Let's see what happens next year when he can develop himself a car that leans into the way that he likes to drive as versus Alex Albon. Sainz's downfall. I'm not having it. Not just yet. Max Sainz for Ferrari in 20. I don't believe those rumours, Leo. I'm honest with you. Max Verstappen, Ferrari. Why? As if he'd want to be part of that level of ineptitude. That team that does nothing but lose and make mistakes. You think Max is going to go over there and want to endure that, especially as he's desperately seeking his 5th World Championship? And the rest, 7th, 6th, 7th for now. No chance. Put some respect on the great American manufacturers, Ford. Go on then, Nando. Am I wrong, Nando? those in and around the circumstance that are closer to the power unit development in the teams say that Mercedes have the whip hand, then potentially Scuderia, Ferrari because of their legacy and heritage. Everybody says that Red Bull powertrains are struggling, at the very least because of their reliability or lack thereof. Whoever can run less wing while keeping traction will be hard to beat. Bit different around here, EasyG. It's not tempered speed. Sector 2 makes it difficult. You're going to need proper traction, not just Lesmo 1 and 2 and Ascari, chicane number 1 and 2. You're going to need proper traction around here. Sector 2 demands of it. McLaren plus Mercedes equals McLaren. Well, McLaren have Mercedes engines. Benzi, Toto said that was probably the biggest mistake that he made, right? Agreeing to provide Mercedes engines to the papaya coloured team over the long term, because now in 2026 it could be Houston, we have ourselves a McLaren sized, shaped problem. This is Lewis's last big contract. Carlos will get another good drive unless will never get another good drive unless he turns it around a bit. But people are saying that he might go to Ferrari again, aren't they? I don't know. The rumour mill is chaos. Red Bull powertrains is going to be the new Renault engines. Fast but unreliable, Kartik. I don't hate that. Carlos is more like career. Oh no. Career loss. Behave yourself, friends. Max in endurance, Ferrari gig. It's a side gig, isn't it? They keep cracking the joke about Max being a part-time F1 racer, a full-time sim guy, and I don't hate it, to be honest. It's going to get mad and techie. The Ring of Dead instead of the Kiss. I don't know what you're saying there, Isa. Yes, Max in the Ferrari, in a beautiful Ferrari 296 GT3. When it's going to happen, he spoke about it, didn't he? He said, listen, depending on the schedule, he'll be at the Nordschleife 24 hours next year, so long as the F1 schedule permits. I think they need to make it so. I know they've published a schedule of some sorts, but I think they need to make sure there isn't a clash, because for GT3, for the Nordschleife, for F1, again, there's one of these. Everybody will be watching. It's too blockbuster. It's too chaotic. Everybody was watching last week just to see how Max went. And don't tell me that everybody won't be watching for 24 hours if he does it again. Nordschleife next year, same time, same place. It's going to get tacky. I think Max might think of going to Ferrari for other race formats and not F1. Fair play, Kartik. I don't see, but there is a rumour going around that he will join Ferrari F1. I don't think so, though. I don't see why he would do such a thing. Not if he harbours aspirations of sitting alongside, statistically, the likes of Sir Lewis and Michael Schumacher on 7 Drivers' Championships apiece. We will be live 30 minutes before FP1 tomorrow, 9 a.m. British. It will get techier than techie things. We'll preview everything. We'll go through the track over that on that stream. I'm going to try and get multi-stream on different platforms as well. Ready between now and then. You guys are legends. Have a fantastic Thursday evening. Between now and next time, as always, remember to look but never stare.